There is a forest where no one dares to walk once the sun goes down. A forest so silent at night that even the crickets refuse to sing. The air is heavy there, as if the trees themselves are holding their breath. And if you listen closely enough, you hear whispers. Not the sound of leaves. Not the rustle of animals. But voices. Whispers that don't belong to the living. And those who follow the whispers never come back the same. This is the story of Igbo forest. Long ago, before there were roads, before light poles or cell phones, there was a small village called Umocha. It sat quietly on the very edge of Igbo forest. The forest was dark, thick, and endless. The villagers believed it had no end, that if you walked too far inside, you'd never find your way back. But what made the people fear it most were the Iroko trees. The Iroko trees were giants. Their roots pushed out of the earth like the backs of snakes. Their branches blocked the sky. They stood so tall and old that no man could guess their age. And the elders said the Iroko trees were alive. Not like ordinary trees. No. They were gateways. Some said they led to the spirit world. Others said they were prisons, where the souls of restless ancestors were trapped. Whatever the truth, one rule was clear: you must never disrespect the Iroko. That meant no cutting them down, no breaking their branches, no tapping palm wine from them after the sunset, and never ever enter the forest when the moon was high. Because once the gates opened, the spirits would not let you go. But there was one man who didn't listen. His name was Obayoma, and he was a palm wine tapper. He wasn't cruel, but he was greedy. He always wanted more. More wine. More money. More customers praising him for the sweetest drink. During the day, Obayoma tapped from ordinary trees, like everyone else. But at night, while the village slept, he dreamed of wealth. He dreamed of the great Iroko, hidden deep in the forest, where hunters swore the palm wine was sweeter than honey. One evening, when the moon was full and round like a giant eye in the sky, Obayoma made his decision. He took his rope, his climbing pegs, and his empty gourd. And without a word, he slipped into the forest. The path grew darker the deeper he walked. First, the sound of the village faded, the chatter of women, the cries of children. Then the forest swallowed everything, the frogs by the stream, the owls, even the buzzing of night insects. The only sound left was his footsteps, crunching against dead leaves. He reached the great Iroko tree at last. Its trunk was wider than any hut in the village. The bark was rough, like the skin of a crocodile. Its branches stretched into the heavens. Obayoma tied his rope around the tree and began to climb. Halfway up, he stopped. Because that's when he heard it. At first, it was faint, so faint he thought it was his imagination. Like the sound of leaves brushing against each other. But then it grew stronger. It was not one voice. It was many. Dozens. Hundreds. And they were calling his name. Obayoma. Obayoma, we are thirsty too. His heart pounded. His hands shook. The rope burned against his palms. He looked down, but the forest floor had vanished into darkness. He looked up, but the branches swayed though no wind was blowing. The voices grew louder, now laughing, now whispering, now hissing his name from all directions. Some sounded like children, others like old men. Some sounded like his dead relatives. Obayoma. Obayoma, give us a taste. For a moment, he thought of running. For a moment, he thought of climbing down and leaving the god behind. But his greed was stronger than his fear. He tapped the tree quickly, filled his gourd, and climbed down. The moment his feet touched the ground, the whisper stopped. But the silence was worse. Because now, he felt it. Something was following him. Obayoma walked fast. Then faster. His breath came heavy. His god slushed in his hand. The forest was black. The trees closed in tighter. Every step he took, he felt another set of steps behind him. He wanted to turn, but he couldn't. His neck felt frozen. His legs carried him forward against his will. When he reached the edge of the village, the night watchmen swore they saw him. They said Obioma walked with his god in hand. But behind him, something moved. Something tall. Taller than any man. Its shadow stretched across the ground like a tree with no leaves. And as Obioma passed, they swore they heard it whisper. Obioma. Obioma. By morning, Obioma was gone. His hut was empty. His bed untouched. His god was found at the foot of the iroko tree where he had climbed the night before. But it no longer held palm wine. It was filled with blood. Thick. Dark. Still warm. The elders gathered the villagers and said only one thing. The forest has claimed him. From that day on, Igbo forest was never the same. Hunters who entered after dusk returned blind, their eyes white as chalk. Children who chased their goats too far came back days later, deaf, their mouths filled with strange riddles. And sometimes, in the deep of night, when the wind swept over the village rooftops, people swore they heard it, whispers. Not the whispers of the wind. Not the whispers of men. But the whispers of the dead. We are thirsty, we are waiting. Some say Obioma still walks the forest. That if you listen closely, you hear his voice mixed with the others, forever calling out for palm wine he will never drink. And some believe the iroko trees are hungrier now than ever before. That each year, they take another soul. Even today, the forest still stands. No one taps its trees. No one dares to enter after sunset. But if you ever find yourself near it, and the night is too quiet, listen closely. Because if you hear your name whispered from the darkness, it means the gates have opened. And once you hear them, you cannot run. You cannot hide. They will follow you home. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe for more.